This is episode number 179 of the Middle Country Public Library podcast. Hello and welcome. I'm Sal DiVincenzo, joined, as usual, by my fabulous colleagues, Sara
Hey.
and Nicole Rambo.
Hello.
How is everybody doing today?
Good.
So we have some interesting things that we're going to talk about. I'm going to start with Nicole because she brought props here.
Sure.
And Nicole, you're going to talk about some sort of Marvel characters. What is this? No,
Well,
just kidding.
yeah, right. So I've been watching on Netflix. It's called Ragnarok, and it's in Norwegian, and it's like modern day, like Thor, like Norse mythology and Greek gods, but they're like kids in high school or whatever. It's interesting. I don't know why. Like I wouldn't say it's like wonderful or anything like that, but it got me hooked. I was like, oh,
Okay.
This is fun. And I've also been watching Loki on Disney Plus,
Yes.
which I really, really enjoy. So I was like, oh, let's talk about Norse mythology. It seems to be popular nowadays. So yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. So if you watch either of those shows, so there's some shows that they're on Netflix or Disney Plus about it. We have a lot of children's books that are kind of like introductions to Odin and Thor and Loki and all the different gods and goddesses.
Nice.
This one, our nonfiction section for this is 293.13. So those are all of
We'll
our
put in the show notes
Yeah.
direct link there.
Norse mythology ones.
Yes.
What is Norse?
It's like the Germanic tribes.
So it's like all of that area.
Yes.
Why
Thinking
do
like Swedish or
Yeah, Norwegian, Swedish. I
Why do
think.
the Norwegians spell Norway Norge?
What?
oh, Sal's tickled by that.
Wait, I don't get it.
Norway is spelled
Yeah.
Norge.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just spell it Norway.
Well, that's the English way.
Yeah. I will say I watched, because you can watch that show Ragnarok with subtitles, so they're speaking Norwegian, or you can have it like dubbed over in English. That I couldn't do. It was like
I can't stand dubs.
Oh my
It's so bad.
gosh. It's so bad. It's so silly. Like unless I was not looking at the screen, like if I was turned away, I might not notice. You still can hear it.
No, you can't. I don't know why that is. Why they can't like there was a Netflix show called Dark, I think it's called, and it's really done well and everything. And like a few of my friends were like, you have to watch it. I'm like, okay, and I didn't realize that it automatically is dubbed and you have to go and undub it. And I'm like, well, I can't get it. I'm like, this is so cheap. And like, no, you have to turn off the. I'm like, oh, and then it was much better.
Yeah.
Like in the regular.
I mean, I can see obviously if you need that for whatever reason, or if that's how you like, that's fine. You know what I mean? But
Well, sometimes if you're slow at reading, it's
yeah,
very hard.
Oh yeah,
to
no,
keep
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I get it.
It's great that they have it and they should keep it. But it's a different, experience, I think. So I like watching it.
But they could also do it a little bit better, I feel.
Yeah, I know.
It's not the dubbing that's bad, it's how they dub it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. And then for those countries sometimes that they do have like English, like they like speak English perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like there's some things that all of a sudden they'll just be like speaking English for a little bit. I'm like, oh.
Could you imagine if we dubbed a film? So bad. They'd be like, turn this off immediately.
Could be good. This one particular book by Leonard Everett Fisher, I think is really, it's very, very simple. So it's definitely for your beginners, but the pictures are really good. I feel like very colorful with the easy, it's a decent bit of text, but just the very beginnings. But I think the pictures are really nice.
Yeah, it's beautifully illustrated. Yeah.
So I would definitely recommend that one. And then even National Geographic, which is, reputable source, they have a whole, it's called the Treasury of Norse Mythology.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it's a big giant book. It has a little, has everything in here. So that's cool for like kids who are really getting into it.
And adults. I have to say, I find that if you're learning something new that might be a little complex, sometimes, I don't want to even say children's, but young teens,
Right.
It's so much easier to learn something. So adults, do not be afraid to browse the
Well,
sort of nonfiction collection over in children's because the reading level is still high.
Yeah.
It's not, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it is sometimes a good starting point because sometimes I'll be like, "What is that?" And then I'm like, "Okay, this is a little too complex for starting out." And I'm like, "I'm gonna just go take a look at like a Nat Geo dictionary that is over." Yeah.
Or DK. I think DK.
Yeah,
editions,
and that's over in
Exactly.
youth services a
Yeah.
lot. So
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out
No,
to
definitely.
No, absolutely. I agree.
adults.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid to go over there.
Well, the other day, a patron came in asking about like bird watching books, and that's when I came into your side because I was looking for some on our
What's
side.
Nicole doing in here?
Yeah, and they're like they had a few kids and like for a child, and they had a few kid ones that were okay, but some of them were like illustrated pictures. But you want to go outside and see what the bird looks like, not a rendering drawing of it, what someone thinks it looks like. But I went over into adult and there was so much text in these books. I'm like, where are the pictures of the birds? I'm like, whether you're a kid or an adult, you just want to see nice, clear pictures of these birds.
Yeah.
And then we happened to have one in our, like one of our nature exploring backpacks about like bird watching and stuff like that. That was like exactly what I was looking for. And I think it wasn't necessarily a kid one. It was just like maybe it was a Nat Geo one. I don't know what it was, but you know what I mean? I was like, this is what it is. I'm like, anyone can use this.
Right. Yeah. So sometimes if you don't want a text heavy book, I mean, I personally love I love all books, but but I sometimes I lean towards like
for sure, especially something like this, which like has so much history and it's complex. Yes, please, if you're interested, come on over to our side. Rick Riordan, who was very famous for the Percy Jackson series, but that's the Greek god, so that's different. But he has written 2 books on Norse gods now. So it's Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard is the series, and there's a book 1 and a book 2, which we have over in Young Teen. So, and I was like reading a little interview that he did, and he had said he's like, the Norse gods are wild. He's like, there's so many stories there and stuff. So I thought that was funny. And speaking of adults and this stuff, Neil Gaiman has a Norse mythology book. So it is over on the adult section. But when I was researching, that's a little bit an article I came across said it's for ages like 10 and up though. Like kids, like if they recommend it as kind of like a nighttime before you go to bed, if you like read together a good book to like read together. It had really good illustrations, it said, and like so
what's the title?
It's called just Norse Mythology. Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman, and it's also the 293.13, but it's over in adult nonfiction. So there's that one. And then if you are interested in watching some movies, there's one, Sara, this is for you specifically. It's called Valhalla Rising. It's not rated. Yeah, so I'm not really sure.
Is Keanu Reeves in it?
No. But know who is in it? Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh.
Yes. So that's another.
Him.
I know you're a fan of that. So so it is in English. After a mute Norse slave kills his captor, he joins forces with a young boy and they escape on a Viking ship to an unknown land where they face violence and death. Needless to say, this is not rated, but I'm assuming it's rated R.
Yeah.
So it is adults. But we do have it over in the DVD section. And I took a little quiz to see which Norse goddess I was.
Oh my goodness.
And
who are you?
I got Sif, who I never heard of, but I'm not exactly versed in this.
Yeah.
Tender and naturalistic. That's so mean, Sara. Well, you take this quiz. You are the Norse goddess Sif. In Norse mythology, Sif is a god associated with Earth. I just talked about worm composting last week, huh?
Okay. All right.
Sif is attested in the Poetic Edda, compiled in the 13th century from earlier traditional sources, and the Prose Edda, written in the 13th century by Snorri Sturluson. She is a wife of the thunder god Thor and is known for her golden hair. Which I didn't even have golden hair, but yes, that was who I got.
So you're the wife of Thor.
Yes.
Thor's wife.
Thor's wife.
All right.
But
cool.
she's tender and earthy.
Yes.
Tender.
Just like me.
Did you ever read the 13th Warrior by
Or watch it.
No, but that did come up in my...
Don't watch it. Read the book. The
read
book
it.
is much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good.
Okay.
It's a good
Yeah,
one,
that was in my... I saw that title in there.
Yeah. No, it's really.
Yeah, I think it's a fun.
It's very
I definitely, and I was older, too old to. But when Percy Jackson came out, I read the book and I really loved it. And like me and my friends got like we're trying to look at all the different Greek gods and stuff. It was fun. It's a fun little silly thing to do. You take your silly quizzes, see which one you are, stuff like that. It's fun.
All right, thank you, Nicole. Sarah, what do you have for us this week?
Well, I recently did a program on butterflies.
Okay.
Butterfly plate. So, it is the summertime. And it's never too late to plant flowers or get flowers or potted plants or whatever. For those who would like to attract these migrating insects, I guess, to your yard, we do have some books here.
Cool.
In the adult section and also children's,
Yeah, we even have a butterfly garden. So tell me what I need to be in the butterfly garden.
I mean, I'm not.
No, I'm dead. I'm asking. I'm dead serious.
So, some of the titles we'll put in the show notes. 100 plants to feed the monarch, create a healthy habitat to sustain North America's most beloved butterfly.
Okay.
Nice.
Butterflies, how to identify and attract them to your garden. The Butterfly Gardener's Guide, Butterfly Gardening with Native Plants, right? Nature's Gardens create a haven for birds, butterflies, and yourself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I just, using our lovely database, I have some tidbits about the butterfly.
Cool.
So the butterfly is a very ancient symbol of the soul.
Nice.
A lot of people do love the butterfly tattoos, etc., jewelry. And it goes back to pre-Christian times, the myth of Cupid and Psyche. It was originally a symbol of the resurrection, the chrysalis being death, and the butterfly as new life.
Okay.
So a lot of times people like change and like, growth and all this stuff. So that was kind of interesting to learn about that. That was in the Oxford reference.
Nice.
database,
Nice.
Right? Also in the Oxford reference database. The butterfly is a day-flying insect of the order of
Okie dokie.
I'm going to give this to Nicole to pronounce.
Why do you always do this? I
Well,
know.
you're closest.
Lepidoptera.
Better than me. Lepidoptera.
Day-flying insect of the order Lepidoptera.
Okay.
They should give you like a phonetic or something like that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The adult has 2 pairs of scale-covered wings that are often brightly colored. The female lays eggs on a selected food source. The caterpillar larvae emerge within days or hours.
Wow.
Yeah. The larvae have chewing mouth parts, a mouth,
Ooh.
and often do great damage to crops until they reach the resting phase of the life cycle.
Mouth parts. That's
The
gross.
pupa, or the chrysalis, right? Within the pupa, the adults, or called imago, or imago, I don't know. You can look that up, people. IMAGO, is formed with wings, wing muscles, antenna, a slender body, and sucking mouth parts. They like,
I hate that.
you can respond to your Oxford reference. And change that. The adults mate soon after emerging from the chrysalis, and the 4-stage life cycle begins again.
Wow.
See, metamorphosis. However, do you know what the rarest butterfly is?
No.
They're
What is the rarest one?
extinct, people.
Oh.
Yeah. Or on the way to extinction.
Yeah.
It is called, if I'm not saying this correctly, I do apologize, Schaus's swallowtail butterfly.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
And it's like native to Florida. I think with development in the air region, it's just not around anymore. So it's very rare. It's the rarest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So and they're very pretty. So I'm sure you guys have seen images of this butterfly. 'Cause
Right.
when I saw it, I was like, oh. So for people who want to look that up or come into the library to do some research, it is SCHAUS. Monarchs. A little thing about monarchs.
Oh yeah, we know monarchs.
Then you're right. They are the ones that are very common to North America. So monarchs are just like other butterflies. Their wings are covered with tiny scales and their beautiful colors. They smell with their antennas and taste with their feet. Did you know that?
Cute.
Yeah.
Oh.
And to drink sweet
Not with their
nectar-
mouth parts.
No. Their mouth parts are on their feet parts. They drink sweet nectar from flowers or a butterfly plate.
Okay, right.
They each uncoil a long proboscis and use it as a straw.
Wait,
from
is
their
your
mouth part.
butterfly plate? What is it meant to go like on the ground or like on a pedestal? Or something?
You can hang it from a tree
hang it?
or like a
Okay.
shepherd's hook. You can
Oh.
probably put it on the ground if you
Wait,
want
do you
to.
have any more? We should put these in the garden.
Yeah, I can give you my sample.
Okay.
But the thing, if you put it on the ground, you'll get like other insects.
Yeah, we'll hang
Yeah.
it from the thing. Well, we have butterfly houses in our butterfly garden, but birds
have taken over.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because the holes are super thin, like meant
Yeah.
for like a butterfly. Well,
Yeah.
these birds are like, no. And they just pecked their way and they made a nice bird-sized hole. They pecked their way in.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aggressive whole thing.
I know, right?
Real estate market.
Yeah.
Birds, so.
They're like, this is nice.
Yeah.
Tight.
So butterflies in the U.S., right? Guess how many species of butterflies are in the U.S.?
1,000.
100.
750.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But guess how many species are known in the world?
1 million.
That's
2,000.
17,500.
Wow.
So in between those two numbers.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of butterflies.
Wow.
Yep. I'm not going to go into the whole migration cycle, but they fly very far for their tiny little wings.
Yeah.
And, if you want to attract them into your garden, come down to the library because they need a place to rest and they need to eat. And I hate to say this, but they are dwindling in number. From global warming. It's affecting the butterflies and also their habitat is also being destroyed. So it is very important to have a very friendly butterfly garden
There you go.
Yes, it is.
like we have at Middle Country.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, very good. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
And that does it for another episode. If you want to listen to older episodes or read our show notes, you can visit our website, mcplpodcast.com. You can watch us on YouTube. Just want to mention that if you are listening to
You can
us.
listen to us on
If
YouTube.
you're
Yeah.
listening to us on YouTube, yes.
Can't watch.
And watch the cool.
You don't watch us.
We do. Sometimes
I mean, you can find us. We all have videos of
We all have videos
ourselves
of
up there.
ourselves. Yes.
One way or another.
Yeah, hit the like button and hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the library's YouTube page, YouTube channel. So yeah, that does it. Thank you so much. For Sarah Fade and Nicole Rambo, I'm Sal DiVincenzo. We'll see you on the next show.